What's up, Black family? It's your big brother Blackman. This is a live Brotherhood check-in brought to you by Blakthoughtz. This is a safe space for all my brothers to come together to express ourselves, to appreciate ourselves and each other. We about to get lit. We about to get busy. About to get real live in here. We're answering the question: how do black men want to be loved? So I'm just gonna send this out real quick to everybody, get all the brothers in here and the sisters. They all need to hear this. You only get me today. It is a Brotherhood check-in, so it is. Oh no, well, it's not just me. Got my guest, good brother Sir Wilkins, coming in. But as far as hosting, co-hosting, it's only I. My lovely little Ashe the EP will not be joining us for this. She is gonna be in the kitchen where she needs to be. That's a joke, but she is making dinner though because she loves me. Send this out real quick. Yeah, just pile on in here, guys. Pile on in, family. Send. Oh, there she go. Matthew Dennis, what's up, brother? How you doing? Ashe the EP has joined us in here. She's about to go cook it up for me. There we go. Our good brother Sir Wilkins has joined. Just waiting for him to send the request there. How y'all brothers doing out there though? There we go. There we go. Matt, what you cooking up, brother?
Oh, it worked.
There we go.
All right, good. Yo, what up?
What's up, bro?
How are you?
I'm good, brother. How you?
I'm good. I'm at the gym right now. I have a client in a few, but I wanted to get this convo in with my good brother.
Yeah. What's up? What's a quick one, real quick? What's a quick one?
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. How's everything?
I'm good, brother. Maintaining. How are you?
I'm still alive.
How's this election month treating you?
For me, I in my heart, in my head, I felt Biden was gonna win. No, my heart, I felt Biden's gonna win. In my head, I'm just like, I low key think Trump is gonna win because we've seen the shit that happened. Lydia, what's going on? Peaches, what up?
Yeah, we recorded on Wednesday night. We did Black Women Wednesday, and it was two
Yeah.
hours at night. I was wholly expecting when that finished to read that Biden was president, and I'm just like, son, it's 2 days. 2 days later, we still ain't got nothing.
But you know what it is? I had posted about this. It's God forbid, like the if everything's correct and everything, your vote does count. You know what I mean? Like they're legit counting shit right now and trying to figure out who is the person that's supposed to be the president. And I know people I've grown up with it. People's like, nah, your vote doesn't count. The electoral college takes care of everything. But right now, Pennsylvania just went from being Trump town to being Biden town within a 24 hours.
It's Philly. I told you it's Philly. The brothers came out on the dirt bikes. They out there. But, so maybe it's not just me. Have you grown frustrated with the people that are saying that their vote doesn't count and people that just don't vote?
To be honest, no. I've seen it numerous times since I was like a kid. You know what I mean? Like people say that all the time. Conspiracy theories, all the the misconceptions about what up, Nick, about our process. So I never get frustrated because people are just gonna say dumb shit. You know what I mean? You can't change people's minds. You're not gonna be able to adjust what people say. And this is my opinion. I'm not saying this is everybody, but this is an opinion that I have. Sometimes people like feeling like the victim. Sometimes people like feeling like they can't do nothing about it because you know what? It's easier. It's less stress. If I say I'm not gonna vote, fuck that, I don't need it, then it's less stress. It's just less stress because let's say, for instance, God forbid, Trump wins and you voted, and then you're like, fuck, I voted, and look what happened, what's going on? You're stressed out. But if you don't vote, you're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I'm saying? I don't know if I sound crazy.
No, it makes sense. The thing that like gets me is like I feel like, because also like if you saying like your like voting doesn't matter, your vote doesn't count, then like for me that also makes me think that you also don't vote for things like district attorney, borough president, like in like the city, governor, mayor. You're not like letting your voice be heard on like anything, and like on lower levels, you're not even letting your voice be heard to work like your people that represent you through up through the system. So this is why you don't see the change that you want to see, because like you're not taking any action against it like at all. For any kind of
I'll throw this at you. I think also people are stuck in their own world. People are really stuck in like their little bubble, their little 5-block radius, their little 20-block, or whatever they are, they're stuck in that. So they don't care about nothing about else except about themselves. And this is a great example of why this election is so close. Because if you really think about it, a lot of people, the reason why it's so close is because people only care about themselves. They only care about what's going on with them. And you're entitled to feel that way. You're totally entitled to feel that way. But it's more about like, yo, people don't see the bigger picture in things. You know what I mean?
Peaches, the dark one, just said it's a show of, it shows a level of short-sightedness. And like, yes, like exactly, it does. Like the world is always bigger than you, and no matter how far away there are people who are going through the same exact things as you.
Bro, that is literally what I say all the time. Like, if people understood that racism was fucking stupid, you would understand that Shaquita in the projects is living a shitty life just like Beth in the trailer park.
Exactly.
They're both struggling, both trying to do the same thing. Because at the end of the day, if you really strip away like white, black shit, we're all struggling in some type of way.
Yeah.
And it's not skin color. It's about the financial income, the income levels of this country, and people are struggling on every income level. And like, yo, let's come together and like work this out.
Yeah.
But our current president put this major divide.
Yeah. It's kind of like apartheid, basically. Or even in like Africa, they turn black people who are just like a whole against each other by like giving one tribe, like giving benefits to one tribe and not the other, and then giving that tribe their own benefit, but not giving it to the other. And then it's just like, well, look how good they have it, and they're keeping that from you. And then it's like, look how good they have it, and they're keeping that from you, and it keeps them warring against each other. And we're all just like one people going through the same shit. We have our haves, we have our have-nots. And there are people that like control this, or at least not controlling it. They're doing their work to make sure they keep what they got, which is like keeping it away from us. But they keep us at war with each other, so we just don't focus on, people don't focus on them.
Well, yeah. To answer, there's a lot of questions that just got hit. Ash said, I don't think he put a divide. I think he exploited it. Yes. And Nick said, I mean, It's still got that racial aspect. Shaquita's husband gonna get arrested before Teresa's brother husband does. I think, yes. You know what? You're right. But I think if we got rid of that, if we got rid of that racial divide and just stripped it away of everything, we're all going through the same thing. Like on the economic level, like there was this white woman that was on the news. Her video went viral. She was talking about how she can't afford certain things, but she can't get federal help because she makes too much for it.
Yeah.
And she's screaming at the congressmen and women and complaining about it, which she's entitled to. And I'm just like, you know how many black women I see that go through that?
She's
But
probably
but
sorry.
no, you're fine. But yet you're so like people are so fixated on this race shit, the racist people and government that they don't see that we're all in this together, like you said. We're all in this together. Let's come together. But that's a different conversation. But anyway, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad. I went on this rant.
Also, like before, like it gets scrolled away. So Ash is Ashe. It's Ashe the
Okay,
Ash
my
girl.
bad.
I always correct her name because everyone calls her Ash because like there's no hyphen over the E. But like
Oh, okay.
I make sure black women's names get pronounced correctly. Like everywhere I go. That's just her.
AG.
Nick,
Wanda,
Nick.
what's up?
So before we move on, Nick does have a good point. He said, but what would happen if it was a black woman screaming at them? She'd be arrested.
100%. It would. She would be looked down upon.
She'd be
She would be
arrested
told.
probably.
But the thing is, if they got past the fact that that she's black and listen to her, that's what I'm trying to say. Get past the fact that somebody's black. Stop being so ignorant and look at people for people, not for like their skin color. And that's the problem. Like we're all people. We're all going through this, and it's like we can have different beliefs, but at the end of the day, we need basic fucking shit: food, health insurance, and a place to live. Basic fucking shit. And that's what pisses me off. Like basic shit. And then you throw the race card in there like, well, he's black, he doesn't deserve. No, he's a fucking human. Don't treat them any differently. Sorry, my bad.
No. So since we're here about like men's issues, did you hear the news about Al Roker?
Al Roker, that one hurt.
Yeah.
Because I used to teach his son.
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
Yeah, his son Nick is fucking amazing. I need to stop cursing.
Same.
But my bad. He's amazing, and it did bother me. It was funny. You mentioned that we were in a group chat talking about that. And wrestling news. What's up, guys? What's up, everybody? We were speaking about it, and a couple of the girls in my group chat was like, "Yo, get checked, get checked." But when you go to the doctor, like your primary doctor, they tell you you're good. Like around our age, early 30s, late 20s, they're like, "Nah, you don't need to get checked. You're too young."
Nah, you can tell them like you want to do it anyway, and they have
You can
to
tell them that you want to do it, but you have to put the effort into that.
Yeah.
Like you have to tell them like, yo, hey, I need to get checked for my colon. They'll tell you the initial response is going to be, you're too young, don't worry about it. So, and then, cause I've asked and they're like, yo, nah, you're too young, don't worry about it. But I don't know what's going on with me.
No, yeah.
I think something could be wrong. So I have to put the effort in of like, nah, yeah. I want to get checked. And then this is why how fucked up our medical system is. I'm going to need a referral because I can't go to the urologist or the person that's a specialist in that kind of field without getting a referral from my primary doctor. So the primary doctor could be like, nah, I'm not going to give it to you because you'll need to go see it. Like, Leash, what's up?
Oh, as Hart said, ask them to document it that they refuse to test you.
Yeah.
So legally, if anything happens to you, they are held responsible for that. Like, you trying to be ahead of the game. But yeah, I'm going to make that call on Monday. It's my primary care, get that process going because as Al said, for men, it is 1 in 9 to be diagnosed with prostate cancer. For black men like us, it is 1 in 7. It's more likely and it's more deadly to us.
Oh, 100%.
Like we said, we have obstacles in healthcare, which is why it's more deadly to us. But
yeah, that's our kryptonite.
We're trying to jump ahead of it. It's the best thing we can do. It bothers me because like he's only 66.
Yeah, but I tell people like this all the time. My best friend passed away because he was overweight. That was like legit the reason why he passed. He had a heart attack, fell down the stairs, done. And the doctor said it was his weight that killed him. And I tell every man this, black, white, but especially like black and brown men, once we hit 30s, it's downhill. It is downhill for us. And us, we have to like start thinking like the future. And a lot of us think about the present, we don't care about the future, but it goes downhill. Like our testosterone levels start slowly dropping. We start moving a little bit slower, blah, blah, blah. But we got to take care of ourselves, especially when we start hitting 30s.
Yeah.
Because we got to watch what we eat. We got to watch. And people are like, oh, I don't like going to the gym. Yo, go for a long walk.
Yeah.
Drink more water. Stop drinking so much liquor. If you want to drink the Hennessy, drink it like once a week.
Yeah. I try to tell people, I try to tell my brothers as much as possible. If I think it's from ages like 1 to like 44. So it's like 1 to 19 and then like 19 to like 43. The leading cause of death for Black men is like homicide. But right after that, it goes into like heart disease and cancer. And that's like at 44, which is really young. When you actually like, well, first one I spoke to was my cousin, and like you spoke to me right after that, after we lost Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
About like doing like health issues here. So I appreciated that call, by the way, or text, whatever it was.
Yeah. It's I think, and this goes back to us like just as men, Black men, just as people, caring about each other, like hitting each other up, making sure we're good on some genuine shit, not wanting anything. And when it comes to health, we got to take care of ourselves. We got to take care. And I don't say it in a cosmetic way of like, oh, you got to be smaller, blah, blah, blah. It's just eating better, just being more active.
Yeah. It's not about aesthetics. It's about how you feel, how like the condition that your body is in to keep going in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, and I always talk about it like, I did a project once with one of my students. I used to teach at a high-end private school. And one of my students, I used to teach health. And I was like, yo, we're going to see the difference between healthy food and shitty food, meaning unhealthy food. So we were on Park Avenue, and we'd walk like 3 blocks in that radius. Went to different places, because more in the city, you'll find more healthier options.
Yeah.
So we walked into, I think it was Sweet Green or another one of those like juice spots. I walked in, I was like, look at the prices. How much is like a water? He was like, $4 for a water? I was like, yeah. Now, how much is something about like this big? He was like, it's 10. I was like, yeah, all right. He looked up the prices and everything. And then I was like, let's go to McDonald's. Went to McDonald's. Whole fucking meal, $6, $7. And then he was like, but it has like 1,100 calories. I was like, it's 1,100 calories of empty calories.
But their salad, like their healthier option is actually more expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, so the thing is, there's us in the Black community, the colored community, and the people of color community, we are in the lower side of the economic spectrum. On that scale, we're on the lower side. So healthy food is not affordable to us. Like it goes back to slavery, like when the slaves ate what was left over from the masters. Like literally the bottom part of the animal, that's what the African American people were eating.
Yeah, chitlins, chicken foot, pig feet,
pork chops.
All this is where all this came from.
Shit tastes good. We made the best of it.
Ashay the EP said, not gonna lie, I want to open a restaurant that services healthy food at a good price, which is something that we have discussed.
Yeah, and that would be amazing. Like, but then we also gotta sacrifice some things as well. We gotta understand, like, yo, health comes first.
Yes.
Health is wealth. So if you're putting money away for, I'm just saying, like, the PlayStation 5, take a little bit off of that and, buy some more healthier options for the crib. Or when you go, and I think we also need alternatives. Like, let's say, for instance, young kids, you're grabbing a hero, right? Instead of putting a bunch of mayonnaise on that, healthier option will be mustard. Less calories. Instead of getting a ham sandwich, get a turkey sandwich. It's still not the healthiest. It's not still not the healthiest thing in the world, but it's a healthier option than getting a ham sandwich.
Yeah. Honestly, I believe I don't even believe we should be letting our children even have those options, because then if we don't introduce them to these things, then they don't form the habit that they have to break later.
Exactly.
Where it's they don't need to have chips, cookies, juice every day. These things are
but she just mentioned something really dope, exactly what you say. Tanae Ali said also some foods has addictive properties.
Yes.
Have you seen those specials on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
There's some specials on Netflix that talks about how they make food in science labs. It's literally they making the food so you can eat more of it. So you can constantly go to the store and grab it. I love UTZ hot chips or Utz chips. I love them.
What is he talking about?
I call it UTZ when I grew up on it, but it's called Utz.
Yeah.
So Utz chips, hot chips, I love them shits. I'm addicted to them. When I go to the store, I have to walk the other direction. Because I know how much I love them shits.
Yeah. I've been saying because I moved away for a brief period, but I moved back over here. So this is the neighborhood I grew up in. So I was saying for a minute, once I'm already working on my choice, my healthier choices. Once I move from here, I'm pretty sure my life will be healthier. Because then I won't have the chicken spot that I'm used to. I won't have the Chinese restaurant that I'm used to. I won't have my bodega. I won't have the ox. And then it's just going to a whole nother neighborhood with things where they don't have the same things, or it's it's further apart, where it's I just need to get out of the habits that I was not taught but allowed to slip into as a kid.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. You're 100% right, man.
Mm-hmm. So in summary, black men, get yourself checked. Black people as a whole, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of our bodies. We only have one body. This is what we're stuck with until the day that we go into the ground and come back up again. But in summary, take care of yourself. But back to the matter at hand, we are here to discuss how do black men want to be loved, and we are going to hear it straight from the good brother, Sir Wilkins.
This question is deep as fuck.
Do you have three, or did you?
I have three. Okay. So for me personally,
so just give us number one, and then you're gonna elaborate on it.
So number one for me is I need somebody that understands me.
Okay.
Because I have a big personality, eccentric. I'm Wilkins, to say the least, and just understand who I am. And it's hard sometimes because it's people don't get it, and then there's always people trying to change you. I've been in a relationship with people trying to change you instead of trying to make you better. If that makes sense, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think that's my number one thing is understand who I am, because I'm going to because I have to understand who you are for me to love you better. And I think it's difficult sometimes for me, for a lot of women I've dated in the past, for them to understand who I am. But then again, maybe I need to open up more. But I think it's more about that's basically it for me. Yeah. But that's number one. Number two is
so I want to talk about real quick.
Okay.
So is this mostly relationships with women, or does this also extend to family and friends, brothers, other men?
I've always been the different one of the group. Of any group of friends I've had, of any I'm different from the rest of my family for the most part. My brother will say he's the black sheep of the family, but it's really me. But people never really understand me, and people always say you're too intense, you're intimidating, blah blah blah. Nah, I'm really not. Yeah. Hey, Tatiana. Yeah, and because I work out, I'm big, I'm dark skinned, so it's he's intimidating. Or like, one of the things I hate being called, and Tatiana knows this actually, I hate being called arrogant.
Uh,
I hate it because I'm far from that. Like, I'm far from it, and I've always asked people, how am I arrogant? And people can't answer it, really.
I feel like to me, you just come off as like confident.
Yeah, but people take that as arrogant.
Yeah.
But I don't say anything arrogant. I don't say that I'm better than anybody. I don't say that anything. She's laughing about it.
Yeah.
I don't say that I feel that like I'm above anybody because I believe that we're all the same and we all can learn from each other. Sometimes women dating men put a lot of that work on the men as far as the understanding part goes. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you mean? You can elaborate on that for us, Peaches, if you would.
Yeah.
Tatiana said confidence scares people who are insecure, which is absolutely true. Most people are dealing with some kind of insecurities. And when you meet someone that seemingly just accepts themselves and like lives out loud, that in itself could be intimidating to some people. It was like, I feel like I can't just measure up to this person, and like subconsciously, some people just do have that like crab in a bucket mentality where it's like, this person is too high, I have to bring them back down to where I am.
You know what's funny? I've always been friends with people who think, like, who have a reputation of being a dickhead. Because I want to understand, why do people think that person's a dickhead? Like, I want to get to know that person. I don't know why, but it's like I have a really good friend. We used to work at a retail store together for like about a year and a half. Everybody hated him. Everybody thought he was an arrogant asshole. And I was like, have you gotten to know him? Nah, I don't need to. He just comes like an asshole. Have you spoken to him? Nah.
I think that just comes from you, where it's just basically because you want understanding of yourself. So you always look to understand others and give them that same understanding that you want.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Even if I have a bad feeling about somebody, I will still be like, you know what? Let me give him a chance. That's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, it might be because I get this too. I used to get, like, from someone close to me, I used to get this like a lot too. Like, even like just the way I look, like I'm dark skinned, I have a beard. The times like my weight fluctuates. Sometimes I'm mad big. Other times I'm like smaller, but like still like I keep like the back of the arms like straight. But like you're like 220 at the lightest I've ever seen you.
Yeah, I'm like 220 now. Yeah.
On the taller side, somehow, bald heads like also intimidate people. Yeah. It really does. And like also like you and I both have like similar like bouncer looks. And like
yeah.
So as a black man, you're always gonna be seen like aggressive in some kind of way, even if it's just aggressively arrogant. But really, like, we just be living.
Yeah, and it's so true. I remember, I got a story for you. I used to manage a restaurant like about years ago. Elisa knows this story too.
Bro,
I told her this story.
Like, you are dead ass like the Haitianest person I know. Like, you've had like 10 careers. You're like 3 years older than me. It's like, damn.
My friend LeVar said the word the best because he's just like me. It's I'm a job whore. Andre, what up, man? So I was at the job, and then I was an assistant GM, like floor manager, whatever. And my GM wanted to speak to me about a couple of things. And he's this white dude from Miami. And he sat down at the table, and he's like, "Yo, Wilkins, I need to speak to you about something." And I get up to take off my jacket. The dude, I've never seen somebody move so fast, but be so scared at the same time. Like, he legitimately jolted, like, oh! I was like, yo, I'm taking off my jacket. Yo, you good? And this is 3 weeks of me working there. And I looked at him, and I was like, and I told my girlfriend at the time, I was like, yo, she's like, Look at you. At the time, I was smaller. And I got one more story, which I forgot to tell this one. When I was teaching at the school, I was like a dean and also a teacher, assistant dean and also a teacher. And I had I was assistant dean and also a teacher, but it was only 2 of us in the school. It's a very small school. It's like a 1-floor school. And I was having issues with one of my coworkers. So my boss brought us into that office to talk about it. And I heard my coworker talking shit about it to the students. So I know I can't yell on this white woman. If I yell on this white woman, she's gonna fucking call the police on me. So we have the meeting and we're all talking because my boss wanted us to be like a real strong team because there's only 3 of us. So I was like, listen, I'm speaking directly to my coworker that's having an issue with me. I looked her in the eyes. I was like, listen, I feel like you have a major problem with me and we need to change this. We need to become a better team if we're gonna work together. And I feel you hate me in some type of way, and that's okay. But we need to get past that. And bro, as I'm talking to her, she starts crying. And I'm sitting there, I'm just like, is this, pardon my language, ladies, is this bitch crying right now? And I was like, yo, what is going on? And my boss was like, Wilkins, you saying that hate word is like so strong and like it's a little intimidating. I was like,
was your boss also Caucasian?
yes. Yeah, she was also a white woman. Super sweet, super nice, but I was like, why are you crying, Ma? Why are you crying? I'm not yelling. I wasn't screaming. I just looked directly in her eyes and spoke with a very monotone type of way. And Shorty's crying. I was like, ew.
Yeah.
But to go back, like even my black friends will be like, yo, you look mad jacked in that t-shirt. Look like you just came out of jail. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, they always dumb.
I don't want to hear that.
It's like, yeah. Ashay, the EP said they cry so they can get out of stuff. And Wilson said white tears are a strong weapon. It's that like, it's like psychologically, that's like their bat signal for their sympathizers and their enablers to come help. Because if you notice, like if you see any situation where there's like 2 people having an altercation, whoever is crying, subconsciously you're gonna assume that's the victim.
Of course.
And they know that shit.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. And the thing is, I love working out. You know me personally. I love working out, and I love lifting weights. So me lifting weights, I'm gonna put on size. So dark skin, bald, and I have muscles. It is like the greatest thing and the worst thing at the same time, especially with people who are not black.
Yeah. It's pretty much if you're bald, dark skin, and muscular, you're pretty much gonna be seen as a threat unless you're Terry Crews. Because it's like
and you know what? Terry Crews, I used to be a huge fan of this guy.
Same.
Until just recently, but that's a whole different episode or whatever.
And it's all on him. Like,
yeah, he worked extremely hard so he can be that guy that people are not scared of. Like he worked himself to be such a clown type of thing, so people wouldn't be scared of him.
Yeah.
And that's oh my God. And that's the biggest shit that I have to go through so much in life. And all of us have to go through in some other ways. That we have to work so hard, bring our personalities down from like wherever they're at to like 1. So we won't intimidate and scare people who are around us. And it fucking sucks. Like,
yeah. That's emotionally and mentally draining to a point that most people just don't know about.
It's totally draining.
Yeah.
And I hate it when like I have high school friends, love them to death, but even when they say shit, like, yo, you mad big, man, like yo, you gotta chill, you're scaring people.
And it's like, yo, like, just living, like, this is my body, like, I take care of myself.
Like, what am I supposed to do about it?
Yeah. The only message that my appearance should give out is that I take care of myself. It's the only message that my appearance should give out. Unless I'm like trying to like intimidate people. But no one like walks around, or like there are actually people that does that. We don't just walk around trying to be like walking mugshots. We just be living. I had that problem at, I almost said the promotion, but in wrestling, I have this problem with not the promoter but the booker. So it's like, so that's who we like communicated with most, and it was crazy because like he's from Pennsylvania, so he was like introduced to me in my Too Many Cooks gimmick.
Yeah.
Before he started seeing me like at Hog.
Yeah.
And so he like every time he saw me like basically like acting a fool, acting a jackass. It was it's a comedy gimmick. But then like he met me and then like he was like scared as shit of me. Where it was like, so one time like I was there and I had on like a shirt that said sarcastic comment loading. So,
yeah.
So like he see me walking over and he's like smooth says sarcastic comment. Never seen this guy make a joke once. And I laughed. So I really laughed. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, yo, like I'm just like, it's cool. Like I was like, it was funny. And then there was like another time I went to go get my pay from him. And then like the segment we had like just did. So I was like running out, like I was hopping. I'm using like the wrong words for wrestling. But the shit that just happened, like I was hopping the barricade, I got caught and I got jumped. So like we were talking about it like in the back. So he was like talking about like what happens. They were like marking out over like, cause the shit went over like hot. It was like dope. So he was just like, oh yeah, like so he was like talking like the group of us, and he was like, yeah, and like, and it was like, yeah, one of you guys got jumped. That was crazy. And like I was sitting there, so I was like, oh, that was me. And I was like, oh, that was me. I just raised my hand, and he was like, oh yeah, no, it was no problem. I liked it. I was like, I'm like, all I said was it was me. And I was just like,
but in some ways, it's a privilege though. It's this double-edged sword.
Yeah, because I also never had a problem with him paying me.
Exactly. I've never had. You know me personally. I'm the least hood dude in the world. The least hood dude in the world. But I've walked through the worst projects in New York. Nobody bothered. But I do have a story for you. So there's this old gyro spot. It's no longer here in New York, and it was one of the best gyros I ever had in New York City. Like it used to be on 34th Street. No, it was on 8th Avenue. No, 7th Avenue between 34th and 33rd. Best gyro in New York City. It's called Gyro 2. It's no longer there, but I used to go in a lot. And I remember one time I walk in, and I've always been taught, please, thank you, basic shit. And the guy's giving me my food. I'm like, yo, thank you very much. He's like, yo, it's $8.50. I was like, here's the money. Thank you. Have a great day. He's like, yo, where are you from? I said, I'm from New York. He's like, wow. I was like, what do you mean, wow? He's like, you're so polite. I didn't expect a guy like you to be so polite. What? Excuse me?
I just saw this on like Girlfriends the other day, where it was a scene with William, where I think like William's like a lawyer.
Yeah.
And, like, not to spoil anything for anyone that like hasn't seen it yet, but the show's been off for 12 years now. But like William becomes like a senior partner at this law firm, and then like he spoke in front of the boardroom in one of the episodes, and like an older white guy was like, "Wow, you're so well spoken." And I'm like, this thing is a fucking lawyer. You're surprised he's intelligent?
That way. They don't see it that way. They don't see it that way. And it's this weird dichotomy where it's like you got to work 3 times as hard.
Tatiana, I'm finished. Sorry.
Tatiana's good money with
It's
that.
mad random, but
Yeah, it is. You got to work 3 times as hard, but the expectation is still low for you. It's the weirdest. It's so weird to me. Like I remember when I went with my teaching job, and it was a very eclectic type of interview, to say the least. And she's asking me different things. And she was like, "What's your favorite movie?" And I was like, "Beauty and the Beast." She was like, "What?" She said, "You're such a strong man. You look so strong. Like, how is that your favorite movie?" I was like, "Bitch, it's my favorite movie." Relax.
yeah.
Oh, so free though. I used to work there.
Like, just because like I look this way or like how you perceive me is just like I am a diverse person. Like my tastes are like very diverse. Like we spoke about this before when we did Black Men and Vulnerability. It was like
Yeah.
I love musicals, so do you.
It's
just like what's another thing? Like I have a problem like oh yeah, I spoke about it with Leroy. But like one of my exes like understanding me, like I love rock music.
You love what?
Rock music.
Yeah.
And it's like my own home. Like we lived together for like a while. Like even in my own home, there's like certain shit like I couldn't do because like some reason like it didn't annoy her. It was just like shit that she didn't like, and like she didn't understand it. Like I was cleaning one day, and like in that relationship, I was the only one that cleaned. So like I'm minding my business. Like I'm playing music that I like to keep me motivated, and like I was playing My Chemical Romance's. What is it? Their Black Parade album. So she came in like halfway through, and then it gets to like the final song on the album, and she's like, "Yo, cut this shit off." He turns it off, and I'm just like, "Yo," I'm like, "What's your problem?" She's like, "Yo, like, I don't like why like I don't listen to this. Like I don't want to hear this." I'm like, "Yo, like you're not the one cleaning. Like just let me be comfortable and get this done." It's like, and also it's like it's the last song. I got through this whole thing. The little OCD in me needs to finish this. And it's just like, for me, it's just like, I just like, bro, like, I just want it, like, this is like my home. I need to be myself, at least.
Yeah.
Because I used to do that, but I used to play it, like, at work. And, like, my little corner, because I used to work like, by myself. And, like, the back, like, people, like, walk by and be like, yo, who's playing that? And it was, like, me, and it was, like, that's you? Playing this? And it's like, bro, like, y'all didn't have MTV? Y'all didn't have MTV at like 6 a.m. in the morning getting ready for school? How you not? You had to have heard this music.
I love Nickelback, and I get so much shit for that. So it's what happened?
I think S. Jesus said I'm black, so I can't love EDM. Black people created EDM.
Yeah. Oh, that's Sean. What up, Sean?
Oh, Sean Green.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was the government. I think that black people created EDM. That's house music.
Yep. Yes. That's our culture, but a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. We also created rock music.
Yes.
But then like things get colonized and taken from us, and then like people just like keep it.
Sean Vanity, what up, man?
He knows good. I'm good. I'm glad you know. Yeah.
Sean's parents are former Black Panthers, so he knows all that stuff.
Oh, cool. That's dope, man. Sean Vanity said Chicago made house music.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was Chicago. That's where it originated from.
Did I cut you off? Were you about to say something?
No, I think one of the other things I've always had to deal with was when if I like a black girl, they always assume like they're like, yo, you like black women?
Mm.
I'm like, what?
I'm looking at Hearts. She said her niece just called one of y'all daddy. I had that happened to me before. Like I was walking, I'm guessing I was like at a party with like family, and then like was like people there that I didn't know, and this woman was there with her daughter, and like I was just walking across the room, and like this little girl, like she had to be like 1. So she's looking at me, and she's like, "Daddy," and then like, and her mom like grabs her, was like, "No, that's not him." And I'm like looking at the baby, I'm like, "Yo, I can't afford you." Like, no, it's not me. No. I'm guessing like her dad had like a beard and was dark skinned. But I'm like, yo, like
Probably. Yeah, that's one of my like biggest things, and it always used to bother me. It always used to bother me.
I don't get that though. I don't look at you. I don't look at a black man and think like assume he doesn't date black women.
Yeah, I got it a lot.
I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't get it.
Like a lot. And I remember I don't know if I ever told you this story. I never told anybody this story. I was on OkCupid once a while ago, and me and this chick connected on there. We're talking back and forth, black chick, and she was just like, "Hey, I'm feeling your pictures, whatever, blah blah blah. But do you date black women?" I said, "Why do you ask that?" "Yes, I do." "Well, why do you ask that?" She was like, "You seem super clean cut. You're bald headed. You're muscular. You seem like the one that, like the black guy that the white women take to their parents because he's safe." I said, "Okay, cool." So I was a dickhead. I took her on a date and then ghosted on her. But he has that I love who you love vibe. Oh, thanks, hearts. Thank you. That's what I believe. Love who you love. Huh?
I don't see it. I don't get that. Honestly, I don't believe. I've never looked at a black man like thought that. Except so the only reason like I would think that is if like they post something crazy on like Facebook or Twitter, and it makes me go to their profile page, and then I just see a bunch of white girls. That's it.
Yeah, but I've always been like, yo, you're attracted to who you're attracted to, as long as you don't try to play another race. You know what I mean?
Gummy Bear XOXO said, "Why would you do that? Why would he ghost her?" Because like I get why he ghosted her. That was mad rude.
I felt some type. I ain't gonna lie. I felt some type of way about it. And to think about it, it was not right. Because Gummy Bear is right. It was not right. But I felt I had to like. I took her on a really expensive date, like night on the town type of shit. I think I dropped like 400, 500 on that date just to be like super nice. I treated her amazing, and then I never called her after.
That's how you do it. That's how you do that. Just like, yo, like I'm gonna treat you like a queen. I'm gonna introduce you to a vibe that is not matched. And then you
So Gummy Bear, that's a good point. She was asking a question. You don't understand her past traumas. That's right. That is right. And that's why I said it was fucked up. It was fucked up on my part, and it was super petty. I'm not denying that, Miss Gummy Bear. But I felt some type of way. She could have at least asked that like 2 days down the line. But at the same time, I shouldn't have ghosted her. That wasn't right. That wasn't right.
It's just, well, not ghosting her is right. I wouldn't have like taken her serious. It's just the ghosting. It was like you could have just said like, you know, this ain't going nowhere, right? This is over that. Just ghosting. I apologized to some chick I ghosted like last year because I just felt bad about it.
Oh, I always usually apologize later.
Yeah.
I'm
all for ghosting people.
I tell you, I don't be having no soul sometimes. I be having to talk to her like, yo, like that's foul.
I had ghosted her because like she was a nice girl. Like originally, like I hit her up and like pursued her, and then she did was just like, you know what, like I'm busy with like school and like work. I don't really have like time for dating. And she was like, I don't really feel like a man could like bring anything special into my life right now. I'm just so focused on what I'm doing. So I'm like, you know what? I don't have a comeback for that. That's a good reason. I'm like, you do you, ma. You're good. And then like, and I took that and I was like, nah, that's good. Like I'm like all blessings to you. And then like after that, like I left her alone, but then she kept hitting me up.
Ooh,
Now
ooh,
the
ooh.
power's in my hands. And it's like, I wasn't gonna be like petty about it. Like, I was like really like, I was like gonna rock with it, but then I met the one I was meant to be with.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, eh. And then we had like plans, and like I didn't know how to break them. So from that, I just like I stopped texting her, and it was like the day of, and like she kept, yeah, my story is probably way more fucked up than yours. She kept texting me like throughout that night, and then she was like, "Well, are we still going?" Like, hey, like, yeah, this is really fucked up. You know, it was still going. Like, hey, just let me know what time. And then like the time passed, and she was like, "Well, if you're gonna be late, you can let me know you're gonna be late." She was really nice. She was really nice about this. And then it's like and then she went through like every avenue. Like she hit like my phone. A couple days later, she like hit me up on Facebook. It's like I just hope you're safe. I hope you're doing well. I'm like, shit. And then like I then like apologized to her. I was like after we started dating, me and like I hit her up and I was like, I don't want any bad karma to come into this relationship, so I should go back and like, make that okay. And still, she was like really nice about it even then.
Ghost with valid reason. Ghosting can hurt feelings and further insecurities. I used to ghost all the time, but then I had to rewire my thought process.
Yeah,
Oh, that's very. Oh yeah, it's true. I've only done it maybe 4 times.
yeah, that's a lot.
Maybe four. The thing is, I think one of my problems is it goes back to how I want to be loved and like and you know approached. Sometimes if I feel this shit is whack and ain't going nowhere, I'm out of here. And I'll come back later to this plate that I didn't finish. I didn't finish. And I was like, yo, my bad.
That's not so. Hart said, "Have you ever ghosted someone you see all the time?" That's when the real fun starts.
Um, I've told this story on my podcast, but I guess I'll say it here. I didn't see her all the time, but so I met this girl, we linked up, we hooked up, whatever, and I low key kind of ghosted her and didn't talk to her after. About 6 months later, I ended up apologizing, but then she was like, maybe we could, she was super nice about it, but I still stopped talking to her. My brother gets sick. I walk into the hospital.
I know this story.
Yeah, I walk into the hospital, and I'm speaking to the nurse to ask about my brother. And the nurse is like, yo, Wilkins, you don't know who I am? I was like, yo, who? I was like, what? And she was like, Wilkins, are you serious right now? And I was like, oh, still to remember her. And I'm sitting in my brother's room, and I was like, yo, who is this chick? And it finally hits me. I was like, oh, it was a chick with the afro. She got her hair different right now. It's her. Listen, once you're out of my life, you're out of my life.
Yes.
Good or bad.
I remember I ghosted a chick that I used to like work with. Cause this is like years ago when I was younger, I used to work in like a Target. She was like a cashier. But I feel like she used to work like, she had a kid. So she worked mornings. So like when the kid gets out, she can go be there with the kid.
Yeah.
And she was like, I can say like, she was like, I'm not gonna say she was crazy, but she was like a little like off, a little possessive. I didn't know how to like get away. So I just like stopped messaging her. Text, Facebook, like everything. And then like we worked different schedules. So I rarely saw her. And so I had took like a double shift. So I took a morning shift, and I was like morning and closing that day. And like I'm on my way to break, and like so I'm like to get to the break room, you had to walk by the cash registers then with the way the layout was. So like, I'm walking, I'm coming from Buffalo Wild Wings where my lunch is just going about my business to the break room. All I hear like almost like that nigga. So I'm hearing, and this is like Atlantic Terminal Mall, Target. So anyone that knows like Atlantic Terminal Mall, Target, you can hear that from any direction on any day. So I'm like, I hear it, and like, I'm younger then, so like, I just want to see the ratchet shit. So I'm turning around looking like where it is. And then she was like, nigga, you don't see me talking to you? And I'm like, yo, this sounds close. And I got turned, I'm standing right in front of her register. So she's like, so she's like, what? Like, it's like, Nick, you can't text me back? It's just a fucking text. And she was there at her register with the guest. And like, and the shit, the funny shit, like, she doesn't miss a scan. Like, she's still going. She's still doing her job. And I was like, I'm like, yo, like, we're at work, you have customers. It's like, I don't give a fuck about that. You're not gonna disrespect me. And I'm like, nigga, like, in my head, I'm just like, this is why. You're fucking crazy.
Oh, I got long stories with crazy chicks, man. Like, crazy. I think that's my karma.
You know, I had a crazy ex, and I think that's my karma. I think she was my karma from like, I was a child then, but like the fuck shit I did as like a teenager, I think like my crazy ass ex was like my karma from that.
My karma from my ex was my karma because she did a lot of fuck shit to me, but I did a lot of fuck shit in my early 20s, like a lot, because I was working at a nightclub.
Yeah, that's the life.
Men love the crazy, but then they can't marry it.
Yeah,
They can't marry the crazy. You can't marry crazy. You can marry a chick that's a little bit crazy. You need a little bit of crazy to keep you on your toes, but a full blown crazy chick, no, you can't live a regular life.
I realized that the only reason I loved that kind of crazy and that kind of toxic is because like I had to like look in the mirror and realize that like, hey, how much do I actually love myself that I'm like dealing with this and putting up with it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Go me say y'all just get the crazy pregnant. No.
And also, I love strong women. So sometimes in my life I've made a mistake in thinking that crazy is strong. No, crazy and strong are not the same thing.
No.
Crazy is actually weak and it's filled with insecurities.
Sorry, I remembered another ghosting story. That's just got like really fucked up.
Like, you want to share?
Yeah, I was younger. So I'll show you the EP. It's like in the other room. So like she knows this story. There was like a chick I dated when I was like 22, but not dated, like we was messing around. I was 22 when she was 30. So this is like the oldest. Like at this point, it's like the oldest like I've ever like dated up. So she had already had a kid and he was 10. So this is before I started like training. So this is when I was just a wrestling fan, and she knew I was a fan, and her son was like a wrestling fan too. So I think like she was really just looking for a dad for this kid. Oof. So she was just like, you know, like at this time I had never been to a WWE event. The only events I had been to were like Ring of Honor, which is like what really got me into like indie wrestling. So they were coming to New York for like their Christmas tour. They do like the day after Christmas like every year. So she was like, you know, like WWE's gonna be like MSG. She was like, you know, like I can get tickets for like I can get 2 tickets for you and my son and you guys can go together. I had never met her kid. So she was like, I can get you a ticket and you can go together. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So she's like, why? And I was like, because I don't know him. And that's the nice way to put it. Like that ass, like this is me 22 younger. So she like, excuse me if it's like disrespectful. So she was just like, so I was like, I don't want to do that. She was like, why not? So I was like, because I don't know that nigga. It's like her kid, and she was like, and she was like mad nice about like, so I think that ass, she was just like, just trying to find the father for this kid. And she's like, well, no, that's like understandable. And then like after that, I didn't know what else to say to her, and like I just stopped talking to her. And again, like I worked with her too.
Did you ever ghost and then come back?
Yeah, so I was gonna say that earlier, and I was like, when she was like, the fun starts when you go someone that you see every day. The fun really starts when you ghost and then randomly just come back.
was dating this chick, and
We
she
got way
was
more off topic.
we're way off topic, but I have to, this one is kind of funny. I met this chick, and she was in med school to become a neurosurgeon, and we would hang out like here and there, and her schedule was so crazy, like crazier than mine. I never met a girl with crazy, but she was trying to become a neurosurgeon, so she got actually school was crazy. I think we've hung out a couple times just to grab a slice of pizza for like an hour, so she'll go back to like her residency, whatever she was doing. So we finally set up a date, and it was, I forgot we were supposed to do the movies and dinner, whatever. I didn't want to go. I was home the day before. I was like, I don't feel like going tomorrow. Because it was my only day off. And I was like, I don't want to go out with this chick and spend a whole day with her. I really just want to sleep. So I didn't text her for 2 days. And then I texted her again. I was like, hey, what's going on, gorgeous? How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, hey, I'm doing all right. Blah, blah, blah. Doom, doom, doom. And she's like, hold on. I just spoke to you in 2 days. What's going on? Are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. And then she's like, wait, weren't we supposed to go on a date a couple of days ago? And I was like, oh, yeah. I forgot. And she sent me the realest text ever. It was one of those texts that you get where I can't argue with it. There's no comeback here. She was like, listen, I'm going to school to become a neurosurgeon, and I have made time for you. My time is extremely valuable, and the mere fact you forgot that we were supposed to hang out is absolutely appalling. You're a cool guy, but I don't want to talk to you anymore. Thank you.
Jessica said, bloop. Yeah.
Hey, Jess, what's up? And the thing is, I could not get mad at it because it was dead ass my fault. And she had a legit. She was trying to become a neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
Like I can't get mad at you. Like you're hot and you're smart. You can get a different nigga. Your options are endless.
Yeah. I wish you would be mad. Yeah, as Gummy Bear said, knowing your worth is priceless.
I don't think a lot of men know their worth. And
no,
then some.
That's why I used to like Toxic.
Yeah. That's a lot of reasons why men and women stay in relationships where it's like, yo, you can do better. I had dated a girl and she was super toxic. And I remember one time it hit me one day because she said some wild shit to me. She was like, I can get another nigga anytime I want. I'm not ugly. And for some reason, something clicked in me. And I was like, you can, but I'm probably going to be the top 5 best thing that ever happened in your life. And you're not all that. I like you as a person. Physically, I've done a whole lot better. So cut this shit out. Get over yourself, because that comment was not needed.
You want to get it?
Which one?
I had Gummy Bear, then Hearts popped up.
No, Heart said nope. A lot of men don't know that they can do better.
And then in that same line, I'm thinking Gummy Bear said men are not taught to be secure within themselves as a person, only their body.
Yeah, that is where we're taught to be providers.
Yeah.
And if you can't afford certain things, you're not a man.
Yeah. I just realized I didn't love myself. So like me, I was like a late bloomer because, like I said before, like I grew up like not overweight. I grew up while I was like until like I was like 18. I was like 290 when I started working out, and then I got down to
290. Damn.
Yeah. And then I got down to like 180 by the time I was like right before I turned 20. And then this is when like I became like more attractive. Then like when, like the beard grew in. Of course, I still had a hairline then, but yeah. So like this is like now like I'm doing well with the ladies, and it's just like I haven't had this much attention before, and I want to keep it. So like, and I've always been like the nicest dude ever. Not well, obviously if I'm ghosting people for like petty shit, like I've always been too nice. But it's like I've been like a very loving person. So like I didn't realize that like I was being taken advantage of at certain points. But it was just like I just thought this was like how shit like just was.
No, I'm literally the same way. My first serious girlfriend, she's actually in the feed right now. I don't know if she left.
What's up, sis?
So, high school, I was a nerd. I was a dork, little scrawny kid with bottle cap glasses like this thick. But I had a lot of friends. Everybody knew who I was, right? And didn't date a lot. I went to the prom with a bunch of me and my boys in a limo. It was me, and I'm also a late bloomer, and I will always have love for her because she was my crush in high school. And once I graduated high school, we ended up dating, and she legit helped with my confidence. She's like, "You're not ugly at all. What are you talking about? I find you attractive." Like, we ended up breaking up because this didn't work out, but without her, I don't think I'd be where I was. Because she gave me, like, legit confidence in myself. She's like, you're mad awesome. Like, just be yourself. And then I started working out as well. That helped. And, but I will always thank her because she was my first for everything. Everything. First piece of cheeks. So it was really because of her, and I was super skinny, but like I had like a little bit of size on, but I started working out senior year of high school because I was playing basketball and we had a gym. And that's what happened. The same thing with you, like, and then I was like, holy shit, I can get bitches. This is amazing. I mean, women. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
So is this around the time? So this was this like around like in your college years?
It was my college years, and then also I started promoting.
Yeah. So yeah. Do you?
So it all led.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
So when you got there, did you feel like you were not overcompensating? Did you ever feel like at a point you were doing too much to make up for lost time?
You know what? Yes and no. Because I'm low-key a relationship whore.
Same.
So
no. Never mind. Relationship whore is different.
So
That's not same.
In my 20s, because I did have like a girlfriend in high school. I wasn't getting a lot of girls in high school. The girls were always nice to me, and I remember they would write this like the most friend zone shit in my fucking yearbook. Like, you were such a nice guy. You were such a good friend. Like, I want to hear that you wanted to suck my penis. Why aren't you writing this? Like it was shit like that I was getting. But so long story short, when I finally got that one girlfriend, I thought like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. I gotta have a girlfriend. But then I also gotta fuck on the side. So in some ways, I was trying to make up for lost time. But then I also wanted to like, yo, I've never really had a girlfriend. Like, I want to have girlfriends. Like, I want to be the cool guy to go to the captain of the football team with the prom queen, type of shit. Like, I wanted that. So I would date a lot, and then I also worked at a lot of clothing stores. So growing up, my mom didn't make that much money. So when I started working at clothing stores and making my own money, I bought a shit ton of clothes to help have the image that I wanted to have that I didn't have in high school. I wasn't invited to the parties in high school, so I threw my own parties. So maybe my 20s was my high school years for me, in some type of way.
I can feel that. I'm like, so Gummy Bear is actually I went to high school with Gummy Bear. So like
Yeah.
in that same like line of thinking, I glowed up like 19, 20. I went back and got mad high school I said I missed.
Really?
Not even like my year. It was just like the other years that were like there with me. Or it was just like, this is like the earlier days of Facebook. It was like 2010, 2011. Where it's like, where I still like knew people there. So it was like, I still have mad people on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's like, everything I missed, like, yeah, I went back. I'm also still cool with my first as well.
My first one, yeah, me and her are still like just like you. There's this one girl I went to high school with. I had the biggest crush on her. She was a year older than me. And about a year ago, I saw her at a party. At the time, I was in a relationship. And we're at the party. She's like, Wilkins, how are you? And I was like, hey, what's going on? And she was like, yo, you've really come a long way. Like a long way. And I looked at her like, oh, God. I've been waiting for you to say this for like, since I was in high school. Because I was in AP classes. So I was in her class. She was a senior, but I was like a sophomore in her class. So I was like, I'm checking her out like, yo, I wish this and she would show me no love. And until that one night, I was like, I'm in a relationship. I can't do shit. But thank you.
I had like the same thing. There was like this is that like early like last year before like my relationship started. Like way before. I gotta say way because like she's like at the doorway. I don't want to throw anything at me. So
Okay, Karen, how are you? Scribine, how are you?
it's like literally. So I was like, I believe she was like 2 years ahead of me.
Yeah.
Like by the time when I was a freshman, she was a junior, and then like in my sophomore year when she was a senior, we had like a music class together, and it was just the chick that like I fucking like love this chick. She was. So I had like a crush on like this one girl. So it's not my type, but it's just like she's like a little like on the chubbier side and like light skin. So like those are like if I had a type, that would be like it. Just like I was a kid and just like this is what I was like infatuated with. And then I was like she graduated 2 years before me. So she like this she went to like school. She went to college like down south. But I've always had her on social media. And she slid in my DM like around Christmas like 2018. And I'm there like, yo, this is fucking lit. And like I didn't know what to do. And like I got her number and everything. We started talking. And then this is like showing like how like guys are like you're gonna be like so hyped up about this and like God's gonna put it in your life. You're gonna like feel like you're gonna realize this is not what you wanted.
Yeah.
Her communication was like trash. Like talking to her was like mad boring. She'd be like in and out. But then she would blame me and be like, I'm the inconsistent one. And I'm just like, you're the one sending one word text back. Like, I don't even feel like you want to talk. You're telling me I'm the one that doesn't communicate. And it was like, still, it was just like, I'm like, yo, but this is like high school, man. I feel like this was like meant to be. And like eventually I just kept like ghosting but like coming back. I was like, I'm gonna make this shit work. But it was like
But do you have a type anymore?
no.
Or has your type moved on to more personality type of thing?
So like aesthetically I think like that's my type, like what I like. I still like really like that like a lot, but like I only dated one like that was actually like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mostly dated my type though, for the most part. I don't know why that's what I like, but I've mostly dated. Hey Ben, I know it's Ben from training though. I want to say that. But yeah, I think, but I don't know what makes my type the way it is. I don't know if it's social media, like growing up, but the chicks I usually date are all around the same type of look for the most part. Like, is that what you or no? Like you're all over, very eclectic with it.
No, it's very eclectic. It's
okay.
I've had like one that was like actually like my type, but everything else is just like these are all like beautiful women, like
Yeah, of course,
big,
of course.
big girls, skinny girls, short. I've never dated a girl that not a lot taller than me, probably like an inch.
Hmm.
But like, yeah, it's been like I've been like all over the map.
I do like taller women though. I do like taller women. That's the one thing. Like I've dated a lot of that, or like close to my height or taller. I don't know why. I don't understand it, but yeah.
The only thing that like the women I date have to have is that I know you can relate to is just pretty feet. That's it. As
Oh
long
yeah, no,
as,
you
long
gotta
as
have.
that's as long as that's there, I can get past anything else.
Oh. I can't have a conversation with you if you don't have it.
Very good. Hart said tall girls need love too. Yes, y'all do. I love y'all. It's not that I don't think I've actually ever tried to date a girl that was like tall. I don't think so.
I try all the time. I'm just short, so they look past me
Yeah.
most of the time.
I found that like they want to date shorter men. Like they just be like, I think maybe it's part of the fact it's just like they feel that like for a lot of men, taller women intimidate them.
Nah,
So
that shit is hot to me.
yeah,
No, for a lot, that is true. For me, it's always been hot to me.
yeah.
Like tall, like with curves. I'm like, come here, let me show you love. Like my girl right now, she's 5'10", and
So
like with heels, she's like,
oh sorry, she said short men used to pick on me. Yeah, I was gonna say that like they try to like break you down to like their size, and it's like they don't have to deal with that.
but why is height such a huge thing though?
Because I feel like men feel like they need to be dominant. Just like
Mm-hmm.
either naturally or maybe they're just taught that. Men feel like they need to be dominant. So if it's like man to man, like if there's another man that walks in the room and he's physically bigger than you, you might feel a type of way if you're insecure in yourself. So especially that coming from a woman, that was going to hit harder. Like I think it's disgusting the way black men in particular be talking about Meg Thee Stallion and like the rumors that she's like actually a man just because she's like 5'10" and curvy. Where it's like other like there's like Caucasian models that like are the same height as her, but they're just like skinny because they're like the model type. Like runway models, they gotta fit into a size too. But because she's like 5'10" and curvy, she gets like it's rumored that she's a man.
They did that to Ciara.
Yeah, bro, they did to Ciara too.
Like I don't get it. I think it's stupid. It's whack as hell because Megan looks good, and I never understood that.
Yeah.
Like it's dumb as hell. It's the thing is it's for me, and it's gonna sound crazy. Why is Tati so wild on the thing? But anyways, for me, walking into a room with a chick that's like curvy and tall, like fucking is like a power move in my opinion. Like that shit is. There's a Drake line. He said, the Drake has a line for everything. He said, "My girl's ass is so big that it makes the whole room uncomfortable."
Yeah. I can't remember the name. I know I love that song too, but yeah.
Yeah, like it's super crazy. Ah, shit, I gotta go. Damn, we talk longer than expected.
Yeah. So like really quick, the last two, since we only got through like one.
Yeah,
The last two is as a black man, how do you want to be loved?
it's understanding. Teach me in an empathetic way. I feel a lot of times I ask a lot of questions.
Okay.
And I want to learn. And if I don't understand something, I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to question like why is this a certain type of way? Blah blah blah. It's not an attack on you, not an attack on your intelligence. It's I want to learn. And I've a lot of women because of their trauma in the past take that as like you're questioning who they are. You're making you're not respecting them. But literally, I'm trying to learn. Like, teach me in this conversation. Like, teach me what I need to know. And I'm not talking about, like, and if I don't know something, help me out. Like, and I feel like it gets lost in relationships sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, people expect somebody to know everything. No, I don't know this. And if I'm generally trying to ask you, what is this about? Teach me about it. The third one would be support. I think,
Is it
and the support,
emotional, motivational, stuff like that?
yeah, it comes down to those things where it's like, I don't need financial stuff, but I need you to know that at the end of the day, you're there for me. Like, you're there for me throughout, and some things may, you know what I mean. You're gonna help me out. You're gonna help me grow, and I feel that's what true support is. And when I have a bad day, you can help me out when shit goes left. I think those are the three things for me: understanding, empathetic teaching, and support.
I don't know if many people. You have to pour into your partner.
Yeah,
That's what I like to say. And then, like, the more you pour into them, the more you're gonna get out of them. As far as like emotionally and like productivity, it's like like if I slack, like if I don't go to training, like Ashay will like let me know that like, hey, like you haven't been to training in like this week, like you need to go every day next week. And it's just be like, cool, I gotta go there. There's at least like in my eyes, it's like she made the effort to go out of her way to make sure I'm on my shit. Now I know she's watching me. So
that's love. That's love. That's love and support. And a lot of times I'm the one that's, not all the time, but sometimes that's how I'm usually the one that's motivating, to do the motivation. Like, you know, it's something I don't get a lot of. People trying to motivate me,
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Like with the arrogant way you come off, they may feel like you don't need it.
Well, everybody needs it.
Yeah, it's like just because like no matter like how I look, no matter like how much like I have a stone face, like we all just want love at the end of the day.
Like it's and sometimes I don't want to complain. I just need you to say like, yo, you got this. Even without me asking, I don't need to be. You know, like you got to complain about it first, and then they're like, oh no, you got this. No, sometimes I just want to know like, hey, I'm proud of you. You're doing well. You're doing well. I don't get that a lot. My own mom doesn't say that shit to me. My friends don't say that shit, but I always say to somebody else, like people that I know that are doing well, because that's how I am. I'm always about like showing the love and support. If I see somebody doing well, I'm gonna tell you you're doing well. I don't believe in that whole you dick riding and shit. Nah, show me love. Like if somebody's doing well, and I don't get much of that, which goes back to what you said, the arrogance thing. People think I'm fine. Like it goes back to when women say that they hate being called strong. But men have to be strong. So,
yeah, I feel you. Definitely.
That was a good episode. We went off subject, my bad.
Yeah, but it was all lit subjects, though. It don't matter. But so thank you, my brother, for taking time.
Thank you for having me.
To do this. This is a Brotherhood check-in brought to you guys by Blakthoughtz. We will be doing this every week. Hopefully, every week I'll have like another male guest. This is a safe space for Black men. I want to expand this safe space as far as possible. Open it up for like healing, expression, just appreciation for Black men. Like as a man, as a brother, I appreciate you so much.
Same here.
You like that's like one of the hardest working people I know. You are an inspiration to me. You literally you've always meant to help me.
Yeah, thank you.
Like, since I've met you, which is like been a couple years now.
Yeah.
So just like I just want to, as a man, as a brother, I just want to give you your flowers.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you so much, man.
No problem.
And on that note, we're gonna tap out here. I'm gonna go ghost somebody. I appreciate you, man. All right. Peace.